7,000 languages in the world, and most of us have tried to learn a new one at some point. So we're going to do a quick exercise. Let's try to say the word magnifying glass in Farsi Persian. Ready? Zarrabin. Zarrabin. Yeah, good. But see, that's challenging. That's because your brain is asking your tongue to do a movement it hasn't mastered yet. And that's a challenge that millions of people live with every day. Not because they're learning a new language, because they've had a neurological injury, such as a stroke or traumatic brain injury, that has now impacted tongue movement. And we know tongue is an extremely agile organ. We rely on it for communication, eating, swallowing, and somehow it never gets tired. And you know what could make learning these movements easier is if we could actually see our tongue. But yet, our rehabilitation mainly relies on clinicians and patients working with movement they haven't seen. So they repeat auditory cues back and forth, trying to correct these movements. So we asked the question, what if we could see tongue movement, quantify it, and design personalized rehabilitation based on it? So we did just that. In my lab, we have developed a new platform of intraoral wearable devices. They sit on the roof of the palate. They can identify tongue movement, quantify it, and at the same time provide visual feedback of the movement to the clinicians and patients. So with my collaborators at Sherry Ryan Ability Lab, we work with individuals who are diagnosed with motor speech disorder. We analyze their tongue movement, compare it to neurotypicals, and then identify shortcomings in range, velocity, and precision of movement, and exact locations of deficit. We then design individualized visual feedback intervention, trying to guide the tongue towards the region that it wouldn't normally move to. And what we see is very interesting. Within just 7 hours of intervention, working with the patients, the tongue range of movement and its velocity of movement increases significantly. That's something that takes significantly longer time in traditional therapy. And that longer time means longer isolation from society. And we don't just work with rehabilitation. What we have identified is that different disorders exhibit different disorder-specific movement patterns. So we're able to measure that, measure diagnosis. And we know what we measure, we can often cure. So we take the same sort of enthusiasm also into our classroom here at UIC. In College of Engineering, we have students work in interdisciplinary team developing wearable tech devices for application in sports, medicine, and human augmentation. We also take them internationally to London and Milan, where they learn from global industry leaders. Through these experiences, they learn how to turn an idea from concept into innovation and how UIC innovation could play at a global stage. Thank you.